Hello, you're welcome to today's presentation. My name is Stuart, and today we're going to do a review of what we covered this week, and we are reviewing the new economy. We had several sessions introducing us to the new economy, and we had a theme, embracing technology and shifting to economy 2.0, which represents the new economy. I will be able to pass through with you so that we review. And for that matter, I'm keeping the microphones open unless you choose to put yours off, because I want us to pass through this together and see if we are on the same page. I also invite you to give your comments about what you think about your economy. So if you have any ideas about the global economy, so that we can make it a good review of our training about the new economy. So we introduced the new economy by defining what the word economy means, which comes from two Greek words, one meaning household, another one meaning manage. After that, we realized economy looks into the area of production, distribution, trade, and consumption of goods and services, or production, use, and management of resources. We realize that some economies are still agriculture-based. However, they have challenges with land, its use, and availability. However, most middle-income countries are based on manufacturing in terms of production. Whereas that in the 1990s, the term new economy first sprang up and was popularized due to the new era of .com, and it generally meant service-based economy. Service-based economy is where we could say the world is at, not at manufacturing and not at agriculture, though some countries are ahead of others, others are far below. And in conclusion, we say the economy we are discussing right now is not only the service-based economy, but we are talking about a digital economy, a borderless economy, an economy without borders, a smart economy that needs us to learn, because the internet changes things drastically every time. And we also looked at what is so-called disruptive technology. Hans Vestberg, president and CEO of Swedish firm Ericsson, has said we are at an inflection point where the networked society is starting to shape around us. We realize that actually most of us are already networked, so it has already taken place, it has already happened all around us, we are connected. And we also said everything that needs to be connected in this network society will be connected and will be driven by broadband, mobility, and cloud. We looked at two business models: the traditional business model that involves a factory producing products, sending to the distributors, who send to area distributors, and to wholesalers and retailers. Finally, final consumers consuming the products, but which they have to pay a big price because it includes advertising costs, transportation costs, stock holding costs, and a profit margin for all the stakeholders, all the people involved. We realize that in the newer business model, 21st century business model, which is mainly direct selling, the factory instead has an online website where people can buy products and pay online using their Visa cards or MasterCards or PayPal or Bitcoin, and products are shipped to them. Usually they may recommend other people, and the company now gets more buyers. Some companies share profits with the members, and that's where the idea of network marketing came in, because people will just refer others to the company, and when these other people have been referred by something, these people are rewarded with a profit from the company. So that is the 21st business model. And then we say, obviously, this makes everything much simpler with the internet, looking at all these costs now avoided and looking at the price finally that's going to be paid when the relationship is between the company and the final consumer. Avoiding all these costs and avoiding all the middlemen, if the price here is $10, it could end at $20 by the time it reaches the final consumer. But here in the new business model, 21st business model, we realize that if the price is 10, surely the final consumer pays 10. That means that it is simpler and even cheaper. We also realize that some old jobs may not return. For all the jobs that are getting lost, they may not return. Instead, people need to learn how to take charge of the new economy and how to benefit from it. And that's how we ended that part. But of course, we realize that change happens. Change happens and it is happening. That's why our economies are getting lost. They are getting confused because change has come when people don't expect it. But I think it's because our learning levels differ. We also looked at the rise of cryptocurrencies, remembering the first cryptocurrency came in 2009, and some people are not yet aware. But we realize that this will take the new economy to another level. Cryptocurrency is digital currency or digital money that is made using blockchain technology and cryptography. We have been having sessions specifically to introduce us to cryptocurrency every evening. And in cryptocurrency, we look at banking, we look at cash coins, we look at trading, we look at units and money, net coins, light coins, exchange, trade, business, peer-to-peer transactions, buying services, everything about money. So we also, I actually managed to pick this. When you go to this link, which is a Facebook link, let me post it in the chat. How do I get the chat? Chat. Okay, here is the chat. When you click on that link, you'll go to my Facebook wall and you realize in my country, in one of the biggest newspapers, Daily Monitor of 26th, which is 2 days ago, they were talking about digital currency, cryptocurrency, and they also talked about blockchain. We started our trainings on Monday, and I think this is Wednesday. Our newspaper was also talking about the same thing. So it means that we are on time, we are in time to discuss the new economy, to discuss cryptocurrency, to discuss the change of business models. We have also managed to get some quotations from some of the influential people, and this was specifically talking about Bitcoin. Obviously, that is cryptocurrency. Bill Gates has said, Bitcoin shows how cheap it can be. In the future, financial transactions will be digital, universal, and almost free. One of the reasons why our economies are staggering is because of hefty transaction fees. Realize if you wanted to buy something, I can take an example of my city here, Kampala. People pay rent in dollars, but they operate business in shillings. The local people who buy in shillings. That means that when they are paying rent, they have to lose the forex charge. Secondly, when they are buying products, they buy abroad, they pay dollars. Again, they are losing money. Now, you lose money several times, and your income is becoming, your profit is becoming very shrinked. Yet the cost of living is very high. This generally affects the economy. Now, looking at Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, where transactions are digital and universal and almost free. You're transacting using a currency which everybody has. Okay, now we shall have a bigger session for cryptocurrency in detail. But I want you to know that if you have a Bitcoin, the value of the Bitcoin is the same, whether you're in Uganda or in Kenya or in Tanzania or in UK or in US, wherever you are. What does that mean? It means that if you are buying something from someone and you sell them Bitcoin, you have no forex rate. Secondly, you have no transaction fee. That is a very huge change compared to paper money now. The other thing you want to know about cryptocurrencies is that they are scarce. Central banks can't inflate them. Actually, they are decentralized. So central banks and political organizations or governments do not control cryptocurrency. They are durable. They don't degrade. The value remain. The actual value or the actual coin remains the way it is. Can be carried and transmitted electronically, verifiable through the blockchain, electronic, can be stored easily because you can store it, they are electronic already, so you can store them on your laptop or mobile device. They are fungible, or each coin is equal to another. None is more valuable than the other. If it is a Bitcoin, all Bitcoins are equal. Cryptocurrency is also difficult to counterfeit. Cryptographically impossible because the technology does not allow for counterfeit. Now, I want to come back here. When we say they are durable, they don't degrade, look at paper money. You cannot use the same paper for probably a year. Some of our paper money here, when you look at it, it is already becoming dirty, very old, needing for change. So producing a new one to replace the old one. That's the value can change, but the cost of production, maybe we can say, is once and for all. But printing paper money is obvious, continuous. So those are the brief things we discussed about the new economy. So it means that we looked at economy in the different scales, talked about digital economy as a new economy. We talked about business models changing, and so giving a better way to transact, a better way to save time, save on money, buy things more cheaply. But in the meantime, people lose jobs because they are all eliminated by the disruptive technology. And also looked at the rise of cryptocurrency, which should make transactions faster, cheaper, and more meaningful. No governments in charge, people in charge. So, like I said, as I began, we are doing a review today, and I would want everybody online, if you can be able to share with us, please briefly tell us about the economy you live in your country. How is the economy? And what do you think? So, who should start for us?
I would like to go.
Yes, Al Dixon from US.
Hey, this is Earl Dixon from the United States. And currently in our nation, our economy is actually recovering right now. Um, our president has put certain measures in place, such as the internet and enforcing the internet and making sure that it continues to exist so that it can bring people together just like you and myself from all around the world to be able to pool and leverage our resources so we can create this new economy. So currently here we're doing fine. I think when people come together in a forum like this, and we begin to leverage our resources, we can all be successful in this new global economy. I am excited. And I think that everyone should begin to bring your family and friends here to participate in this new global economy. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Dixon. Anybody else wants to share with us what do you think about the economy? In the US, the economy is now recovering. That's good news. Who else wants to tell us something?
Mr. Stewart, I have a question here.
Yes, please.
Actually, in Uganda, we can see we are just getting to this digital economy.
Yes.
But my question is it going to be possible for every Ugandan to adapt to this new economy, this digital economy?
You know, we have very many challenges here as Ugandans.
Yes.
And one of the biggest challenges is illiteracy. Our people are illiterate, and even those who have gone to school actually live their lives as though they didn't go to school. Our people are scared of trying new things. They want comfort zone. They want to be on what is known. That's why very many people will still go to their jobs even when it doesn't make sense at all to be at a job, because they are really scared of trying something new. They would rather risk and keep at their jobs than walk away from the job and start something like we are discussing right now, talking about new economy, talking about networking. A lot of us fear networking completely, even when you could do it in a different way, not necessarily that you have to do it like the local people do, but maybe do it like people who can use part of their time maybe to share on Facebook, on WhatsApp, Twitter, anywhere you can share something and you get paid for it. Remember that in the 21st economy, the company is still there and with its products. It doesn't have the other main distributor, area distributor, wholesaler, retailer, but it's there and the products are being manufactured. What is still remaining is a customer, a final consumer. So we are all consumers of some products. If we embrace something like this concept, whenever you know where to buy, tell guys to go and buy. Make sure you secure a commission for that. Not all companies are like that, but at least there's so many companies right now which do that. Unfortunately, the people who are involved in this kind of network marketing are people who have not learned again. They are the uneducated because the educated do not want to do these things, and probably they are not really the kind of people you'd expect. In fact, when you get smart people, educated people in network marketing, they are excelling, especially those who are really serious at it. But most of the people who are doing these things are people who really are still wanting. So that is one example I wanted to give. The second example is our government is not even aware that things have changed. You realize that most of our leaders are still advocating for agriculture. They are looking at agriculture as the backbone of our country, which is fine and is very right. We could do very well with agriculture, but our people are not being told to go and do agriculture. From primary school to secondary school to university, people are learning how to go and get a job. Yet at the end of the day, we know that we are relying on agriculture. And people are not taking agricultural studies by force. Maybe, the way we study English by force, we study mathematics by force, like they are compulsory lessons. If agriculture was a compulsory lesson and what is being taught is practical to our Ugandan context, maybe there would be much difference. But secondly, the president has talked about transforming Uganda to a middle-income country, looking at creating more industries, meaning that he's looking at going to the manufacturing-based economy. Now, manufacturing-based economy is better than, obviously, agriculture. But you realize that by 1990s, people were shifting to the new economy, which is a service-based economy. Now, our people are not trained to give services. That is absurd. It is very disturbing that you will find a taxi.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, we're still here. You find a taxi person. These usual taxis which take us around town.
Hold tight. He'll be back in a second.
A taxi man is abusing a boda guy. Okay, so it means that and they're abusive, very abusive. Why they use the road? No respect for one another as Ugandans. You go to a shop, you're trying to buy something, but the attendant is generally not really very welcoming. We are not very set for the service-based economy.
Welcome back, Stuart. Welcome back, Stuart. I kept him going while you was gone, so now coming back to you, Stuart.
I don't know where I have been. It seems I went off.
That's okay. I kept him company while you was gone.
Wow, I don't know. What happened? Where had I reached?
Well, we was talking about your illiteracy and that the government is not aware of the global economy, what they need to do to position themselves.
Yes, we need more education. For us who already know, we need to share more, and then we need, well, it will be good for our government to learn about the digital economy, to learn about real use of IT to transform our economy. A lot of people obviously are on the internet, but they are really wasting time. They're not doing anything serious. So if they were taught, if they were encouraged how to make better use of this, it would be much better. I use my example usually that I finished school, I worked 1 month, I found I couldn't make it with a job, and I realized I really needed to make money, and I started learning how to make money online by myself, and it worked for me. I am not the poorest Ugandan right now. I may not be the richest. Many people usually say, are you a millionaire now? I am uncomfortable answering that sometimes, but I didn't start this to be a millionaire. I started this to make some money, have basic needs, be better than what I would be if I kept at my job. So realize that if I manage to do this alone, really almost alone, if there are education campaigns, if there is government action, it would be much better. Not only for learning how to market online companies, maybe American companies, Philippine companies, there are lots of companies we promote here in Africa, but even promoting our own agricultural produce using the internet and probably, learning from what others are doing and developing similar systems. I also talked about service-based economy. Maybe my internet went off while I was talking about that. Our people are not yet very well streamlined to give services. Our language we use, how we entertain customers, how we operate with one another is still lacking in our economy. Rogers, I was trying to say we have high illiteracy levels, not in having not studied, but a failure to put our knowledge, even those of us who have gone to school, failure to put our knowledge to good use, failure to know how to better use what we have. Whether it is our land, we don't really know how to use our land properly. That's when I said, even when we studied in school, we're not taught how to really engage in proper agricultural standards. Then we also don't understand that going to school is not about getting a job. If we could learn that also, that would be very important, because many have gone to school but have not gotten jobs. So what next? That means that we should be thinking, why do we really go to school? If we have no reasons for going to school and it's only about jobs which are not there, then we should stop going to school. We should start doing something else, and you know how much money we pay in schools. That is why we are as Ugandans. Those are some of the challenges why the digital economy or the new economy, so-called the global economy, we still have a long way to tap in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other person wants to share something? Eddie, you came in late. We are actually discussing our local economies. How is it in Ghana or Nigeria? I don't know where you are right now, but I think you're still in Ghana. So how is it? How do you rate the economy? What do you think is doing well? How do you relate to the global economy? You're in Ghana, yes.
Yeah, I'm in Ghana.
Yeah, tell us something about the economy there and how you relate it to the global economy.
Well, talk less of youth employment is very, very low, and unemployed graduates are on the increase.
Okay.
So now, many youths who are graduating from school, some have to divert from their course and then seek for meaner jobs, okay, which the salaries are not even enough.
Eddie, can you turn your volume up just a little bit, Eddie? You speak up just a little bit.
Okay, I was saying that unemployment rate is on the increase, and there are more graduates than unemployed graduates also. And more graduates have to turn to meaner jobs, okay, for survival, because they don't really get what they have to do after school, what they studied in school. Even in some sectors or in some corporate sectors, offices, before you have to get employment, it depends on who you know. Sometimes people have to pay bribes in order to get employment.
Yeah.
That's the situation.
So really, I think Africa is all the same. High rates of unemployment, yet guys are still going to school, learning to get jobs. So I think it's just almost the same as Uganda. Much as, of course, Ghana is so much better than what some of our countries in Africa are. We're looking at the forex situation in Ghana. 4 cedis equaling to $1. Here we have 3,600 shillings to equal to $1. Very far down there. So that's briefly what we can discuss today about our economies. We are trying to review what the new economy is and how it relates to our economy. We realize that it's only America which is getting their economy revived, but the rest of us, we are crying. High unemployment rate, the economy is going very bad. Banks are closing here in my country. Businesses are closing. Things are going very crazy. But like Dixon said, in the United States, we are just on the same footing now because of the global economy, because of the internet. We just need to learn more and see how to benefit from what is now on the table for all of us. Don't forget that there is more learning. Change is happening in the business world. Change is happening in the money world. Change should happen to us all. Thank you very much for attending this session. I want to thank you again for showing up all week, and I hope to see you next week on similar sessions. Thank you, everyone.
You too.
Yeah, we shall have a session in the evening about other ways of taking charge and maneuvering in the new economy. So I hope to see you at 6 p.m. About how many hours from now? 3 hours from now. Yeah.
When we come back at 6 o'clock, can we talk about some of the solutions on how to operate in the global economy? Can we talk about some of the solutions?
Exactly. Yeah. right?